What's going on, good people? It's your guy. You know what I'm saying? Big dog barking. Oh, where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? You know, I let everybody, all the bigger content creators, I let them say what they had to say about the Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb situation. So now I'm going to say what I got to say. And this is what I'm going to say. So, for those that do or don't know, Corey Holcomb last night on 5150 show retaliated to a week of Anton Daniels talking about how he went into the lion's den and snatched the teeth out the lion. Perception is a mug. Perception is a beautiful thing when you're doing it for the right reasons and all that right there. So if we go back a week, Corey and Anton got into it on the show, and however you want to look at it, whether Corey was in the wrong, whether Anton was in the wrong, whether Corey should have did this, whether Anton, whatever the case may be, it happened. A whole week done passed. Now, when I did this live about this last week, I said, according to the optics, Anton won according to the optics. Perception. He's good at perception. You know what I'm saying? So according to optics, Anton won. Now, me myself personally, like I said about Corey, it's like if I get out of my chair to go face to face with some cat, it's gonna be some blows thrown. It's gonna be some body blows. Now, what's going on? It's gonna be a lot of things going on if I had to get out of my chair and come talk to you face to face. And I don't need you to say SMD 2-3 more times for me to go and spring on you. But I digress. I'm 46 now. I don't do that no more. Mentality still there, but I don't do that no more. So after Anton left the show, he went on this YouTube world tour talking about how he dismantled Corey. He did this, he did this, he did that. Everywhere you went for a week straight, Anton Daniels made it seem like he just did some big shit. Again, we're talking about perception. Now, this is me looking at the situation before last night. You talk too much. You couldn't just take the dub, because a lot of people, whether you like them or not, gave Anton the win. A lot of people gave him the dub. But you talk too much. And see, the content I'm pushing out now, I'm talking about power. I'm talking about leverage. I'm talking about desire. I'm talking about attraction. You got what you wanted at first. You got likes. You got views. You got some more money. You got some more subscribers. You got everything you came to 5150 to get. You got that. But you had to keep talking. And like I said, perception is a motherfucker. By you constantly talking about what you did, you lost all leverage. Because again, if you are the cat you say you are, it could be Anton, it could be anybody that call themselves above the fray, above the bullshit. You this high value dude or whatever the case may be. If that is the case, you better than me. You better than a lot of these other content creators. You better than the average street nigga. You better than the average hood nigga. You better than the average thug. If you better than everybody in black culture, in the black community, why are you competing with motherfuckers you supposed to be better than? Why are you, if you're so much better than the community, if you got something to say negative about black men and black women all day, every day, you take jabs at the community all day, every day on your platform, and that's your right. If you so much better than the people you talk about, how do you end up in nigga moments? How do you end up in nigga moments where you're competing with men and sometimes women that you're supposed to be better than? Ladies and gentlemen, one thing about a high value person, they don't compete with people that's beneath them. If you are that cat, if you are that chick, if you him, if you her, you don't have to argue with people that's beneath you. You don't have to drop down to their level to compete with them. If that's the case, you're no better than them. You go on a worldwide YouTube tour talking about what you did on Corey Holcomb's show. You a sore winner. But a lot of people that's Anton dick rider. Oh, let me correct it, cause I'm a hood nigga. I don't understand YouTube politics just yet. I try to. I'm a hood nigga. A lot of you motherfuckers that suck Anton dick faithfully, knee pads and all. A lot of y'all that suck his dick, go and listen to all that shit that came out of his motherfucking mouth and make himself look like the big bad bully. When he said himself numerous times, he's not a street nigga. He's not trying to go to jail. He ain't trying to get involved in no illegal activities whatsoever. But you run around here like you Kane, like you Nino Brown. Like you a motherfucking gangster. But you say up and down all day, every day, you're not a gangster. But somehow, some way, you a gangster all of a sudden. Don't believe you, but it is what it is. Don't believe you, but it is what it is. If y'all see me looking back, my grandson is in the car. My son and his girlfriend just ran into a burning coal factory, so he was asleep. So if I have to cut this short, it's because my real life is more important than me talking shit about niggas I never get in contact with. So if he start crying, I'm gonna get off this job. But you run around this motherfucker for a whole week acting like a big bad gangster when you sit up and say you're not a gangster. And you lost a lot of leverage. You talked a lot. Talk a lot of shit. Now, in my head, and like I said, in the content I'm pushing out now, a low-level nigga, a low-level person, guess what they competing for? They're competing for attention. Fat man. Granddad in the car. On a low level nigga, he fighting for attention. He competing for attention. So no matter how many subscribers he got, no matter how many likes, views, no matter how many people watch his show, nigga, you still competing for attention. Fat man. Fat man. So that's what low-level niggas do. They still fight for attention. Mid-level niggas fighting for lifestyle, for luxury, for looks. Again, you got all the cars and the watches and this and the Versace robes and all that type of shit right there. Yeah, and still you always gotta throw that shit in somebody's face. Bank accounts, all that type of shit. Like, who are you fighting with? If you got all the shit you say you got, and you can prove that you got all the shit you got, you ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta say shit. So why is you talking all this shit? Cause you still competing. You still competing. You still, no matter how much success you got on YouTube in life, you still competing, and you competing with yourself. You fighting a ghost. Somehow, some way, and this can show you that in life, somehow, some way, you were told you wasn't shit. And that crushes your ego. That somebody in your life, and however old he is, done told you ain't shit. So every chance you get, you gotta prove you better than the motherfucker that said you wasn't shit. Cause you constantly competing for money and attention. But you above the black community that you say need money and attention. You're above all that. But you fighting with the same motherfuckers. So after you do your worldwide tour, Corey Holcomb on the show last night proceeded to go in on you. He said something about Mika. Now, I don't know enough about Mika to feel some type of way about her, whatever the case may be. And earlier that day, she said something about it. She forgave Corey and all that right there. She said she ain't nobody's side piece. All right, I can only take her for her word. I don't know. But she also was told that a couple weeks in advance, she was going to be able to get on the show. And we proved that was a lie. So who told her she was getting on the show? Somebody selling wolf tickets. He said something about security. That's a non-factor right now. Security have no pull, push, whatever. A non-factor. Now, Corey Holcomb proceeds to go in on Anton's daughter and his wife. He proceeds to go in on Anton's daughter and Anton's wife. Now, this is where the internet rules and the street rules, they tend to clash. Because internet niggas like to play internet rules with street niggas on the internet. Fat man, I ain't went nowhere, fat man. I'm right here. Hold up. I got you. Play with my grandson right fast. He just woke up. So anyway, internet niggas like to use internet rules against street niggas because they already know, bro, you can't touch me. If you touch me, I'ma sue. We arguing over cameras and keyboards. We in boxes arguing with folk. We chatting in these spaces and shit like that. You can't get touched. You can't get touched. That's pretty much what it is. You can say what you want to say. And there's been plenty of times that Anton Daniels had went below the belt talking about kids, talking about people, mamas and daddies. I seen it. I heard it. And the many times that he done did it, he always say, don't bring family involved. Because he can talk about your kids. He can talk about your wife. He can talk about your mother. Without hesitation. You bring up his, it's a problem. That's fake gangster shit. You can't sit up here and talk about my people and expect me to just sit there and take it and I don't say nothing back. We're going to start from there. So, Corey goes in on his daughter and his wife. In my hood, I'm from Memphis. And let me tell you something. Down here, we call that checking. The dozen, wherever y'all at, you know what that is. And when it come down to, and this just basic, this just the bare minimum what I'm talking about right now. Just in checking, your mama is not off limits when I'm going to fire your ass up. Your kids are not off limits when I fire your ass up. Your woman is not off limits when I fire your ass up. Everybody is collateral damage. Everybody can get it when we checking. There's nothing that's off limits when we're checking. When we're talking about each other, there's nothing off limits. Anybody can get it. Anybody. In my family, with my kids, my in-laws, we check everybody. Kids included. Everybody can get it. And you know what happened? The kids fight back. They check back. Everybody can get checked. We call them all types of names and they fight back. They fight back. So just off that principle alone, when we're talking about folks in the streets in a dozens battle, a snaps battle, checking, anything goes. I can say whatever I want to say. Corey Holcomb is a comedian. You think comedians don't do that all day, every day? That's part of their job is to talk about folks. Family. Family. Granddad is still here. You got my finger. So anyway, that's just checking. Now, if you really want to get into some gangster shit, let me break that down to you. The way Anton was talking for a week straight, I ran into the plug house and I robbed the plug and ran off with the bag. I ran off with the bricks. I ran off on the plug. I went into his house and robbed him. Smacked him in his face, robbed him, and now I'm running around the hood talking about I robbed him. And he ain't did nothing. He ain't say nothing. He ain't do nothing. Nah, I got him. In the streets, on some real gangster shit. Niggas' families get kidnapped. Niggas' families end up getting deleted for robbing the plug, for running up in the plug house and snatching something away from the plug, disrespecting the plug in their house. And if I can't get to you, I'm going to get to somebody you care about. I'm going to get to somebody you love. I'm going to do them something awful because I can't get to you. And a lot of guys say, oh, that's not man code, whatever the case may be. Like, true that. I was raised off that, man, leave the women and children out of any all these little altercation and shit like that. But at the same time, the code of the streets done changed. The codes of the street done changed. Everybody can get it. If you run off on the plug, if you call yourself robbing the plug, robbing the gangster, and run around the hood talking about the gangster didn't do nothing to you, he ain't trying to fight back, whatever the case may be, don't be surprised when that nigga draw down on your wife and daughter and hold them hostage and tell you, nigga, after I get through talking about your daughter, after I get through talking, hey, man, I'm going to have to cut this short because I've had to see what's over my grandson. You all right? He crying. Oh, anyway, I might come back with this a little bit later. I don't know. But let me take care of my grandson, and I'm going to holler at y'all good people later.